All right, for today's adventure, Timber, the wiener dog, and I, and my wife, but she made me promise not to film her, we are going hiking on the Rails to Trails. A little bit of history of that. There used to be a railroad track that ran through Mineral Wells, and then it was, I guess, decommissioned, or whatever the proper terminology is, abandoned. And at some point, the city got together with Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, and they converted it into a trailway. So it is a biking and hiking trail. There are sections that are open to horses. When you get out close to Garner, Texas, horses are allowed. And anyway, it's another hidden treasure that I think maybe some people don't know about. But we're gonna go and check it out. So we're gonna start our adventure at the Mineral Wells Trailhead. That's located between Southwest 3rd Street to the north and Southwest 4th Street to the south, and Highway 281 to the east, and Southwest 2nd Avenue to the west. You can pick up a Trailway map out at Lake Mineral Wells State Park. Although it's a pretty simple trailway, for the most part it's a straight shot. There is a little jog that goes off to Mineral Wells State Park, but the map is helpful because it shows you distances between places and where there are restrooms and other things along the way, like parking. We'll start our hike at the Mineral Wells Trailhead. We'll hike 5.8 miles. We will make it to the State Park Trailhead, but we won't go into the State Park this time. We'll do that another time. Then it's 3.4 miles to Garner, and that'll be the end of today's hike. So at the Mineral Wells Trailhead for the Lake Mineral Wells State Trailway, you'll find the caboose from the old train. You'll find a water tower. There are restrooms and quite a bit of signage that explains the history of the town. It explains the history of the railroad. So it's kind of interesting. Quite a few things to look at before you actually start hiking. All right, this is the beginning of the trail from the Mineral Wells side. You don't have to start from this side. You can start from Weatherford. You can also start from several places in the middle of the trail. There's some pretty basic rules for the trailway. If you bring a dog, keep them on a leash. Make sure you clean up after them. Good idea probably to bring bug spray during this time of year as well. And you might bring water with you in case you end up going for a pretty good hike. Motorized vehicles are not allowed on the trail. Also, there is wildlife. I've seen snakes, tarantulas, squirrels, all kinds of stuff, lizards. So just be aware of that. So if you decide to hike or bike the trail, it's important for you to know that there are some pretty isolated parts. It goes out into the rural areas. It also goes through town. Probably a good idea to go with a companion or a group when you hike the Lake Mineral Wells State Trailway. So first of all, I know what you're probably thinking. So you just walk, and the first thing I want to say is, well, you can walk, or you can bike, or you can ride a horse, or you can jog, or you can run. And secondly, there's a lot of cool things to see and do along the way. For example, there is the National Vietnam War Museum, and it's right off the trail. Of course, you can drive to it too, because on the other side of the museum is a highway, Highway 180, on the east side of Mineral Wells. But the trail goes right beside it, and there's an entrance right there. You can go in there and check out the various things they have there. There are a number of bridges going over little creeks and streams. There's some park benches on the way. There's a great big bridge over Highway 180 that you're seeing in the video right now. There's an access point to Lake Mineral Wells State Park. The trail goes right by a botanical garden called Clark Gardens, which is an amazing botanical garden that you wouldn't expect to find in such a rural area. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool things to see and do just between Mineral Wells and Garner, and that's not even to talk about the things past Garner going on into Weatherford. So yeah, it's yes, you're walking or biking or running, but there's a lot to see and do along the way. It's just kind of fun. It's off the beaten path. It's a trail, if you've never gone down it, where you don't know what you'll see until you go there. So a lot of people like to go out and exercise and walk around a track in circles, and I've tried that before when I was trying to lose weight or get in shape, and to me it's like mind-numbing, right? You're just walking around a track, seeing the same thing over and over again, lap after lap after lap. And for me to enjoy any kind of exercise like that, I need to have some sort of you know, sensory experience of seeing new things, variety in my life a little bit. So I really like the Rails to Trails. I think it's I don't know, I think it's a lot of fun to walk out there. So people do use this trail to ride horses, and it's important that you know before you go that hikers and bikers need to yield to horses, and bikers need to yield to pedestrians and horses when you're on the trail. One thing you'll notice on the trail periodically, there are fee boxes where you can pay a fee for use of the trail. This is recommended, although there's no one really policing it, but consider it more as a donation for the upkeep of the trail so that it can stay in good shape. Definitely something to consider when you see those fee boxes. Slip a couple bucks in there, or whatever the label says you're supposed to put in there. So Garner's a great little town that's along the trail. It's also a great place to park your car if you want to start there and head towards Mineral Wells or back towards Weatherford. Also, there are restrooms. It's more of a porta potty type restroom, and there is water for animals in Garner. Here's the bathroom there in Garner. It doesn't have running water. You can tell by looking at it, I didn't go inside, but it's better than nothing. So we made it to Garner. Timber had to have a drink. I did get a photo of my wife, though she doesn't know and won't know because she won't watch this video. From Garner to Weatherford, it's another 10.6 miles. So it's 9.2 miles from Mineral Wells to Garner and 10.6 miles from Garner to Weatherford. All total, that's a nice, nearly 20-mile hike. Great scenery on a pretty day. It's a really fun thing to do. You can take your dog for a walk. You can take your kids for a walk. You can make your kids take your dog for a walk. See lots of things and enjoy it. Something I definitely recommend doing. Not really heavily traveled. When I've gone, my wife and I, for a long time, we were jogging and running the trail every day during the coronavirus epidemic. And occasionally we would see other joggers and runners and bikers. Never actually came up on a horse during our time on the trail, but we've definitely come up on evidences of horses that have been on the trail. But anyway, it's a great little trail, another hidden gem in Mineral Wells, so check it out.